Just a second. I gotta zoom in on him. Alright. Hang on, let me focus on him a little bit. Yep. Mr. Toasty.
Dude, that piece of toast is as big as you.
That's right.
God, he's cute.
You can enjoy your toast.
It's in focus, right?
Huh?
It's in focus.
Oh, it's beautiful. Hello. I'll watch her. Yeah, I'll watch her. I'm going to keep an eye on BR while you guys keep an eye on this piece of toast. Make sure somebody doesn't steal it from the squirrel. So speaking of squirrels, this morning we had a coopy in the tree there in our backyard. And he was sitting there nonchalantly with his back to the feeder. And two squirrels came up and attempted to attack him up in the tree. So they drove him from his branch to another branch. He settled himself there, and a moment later, one of the two squirrels made his way up there, up to that branch, to the top, and made a charge at him. Flew up the branch and did a loop in the air, and the coopy took off, and the squirrel did a somersault and landed on this branch. Coopy went off to another branch in another tree this time and sat there for a little bit, fluffed himself up, and then said, you know, what the heck, and took off. So that was a pretty cute this morning. I never thought I would actually see Yep, I'm gonna tell him right now about that. Okay. Yeah. So yesterday, we did our shopping, and we're coming up Route 13, which heads up sort of around the southeastern edge of the lake, Hugo Lake, and it goes up quite a grade, sort of heading northeast. Anyway, it's wrapping around and coming back up the north, heading north up the lake a little bit for a mile or so, and at the top of the as we're nearing the top of the hill where the road curves off to the east, we're still heading up the hill and looking up, and there's this beautiful, gorgeous, big, flat-winged bird circling over the highway, over the 4-lane. And there's a big cliff that, at that point, that goes down to Lakeshore Drive and the boats below and the lake, and on that edge of the lake there, and to the right, it's some neighborhoods with some woods and stuff like that, and it was a gorgeous gorgeous adult bald eagle, one of the resident pair that we have here. So of course I pulled off the 4-lane there up against the fence and got out and was watching it circle for a little bit, and then up out of the neighborhood lifted an enormous red-tail hawk and started to circle up toward the bald eagle. In the meantime, just as that was happening, another bird came scooting out of that area up high, and it was a male adult northern harrier. And he headed out of that neighborhood and across the 4-lane and out over the lake. So that was quite a sight, and did that for a minute or two, and then hopped back in the van and between traffic and got out of there. And then we went for a walk, and as we were going further up the highway, still on 13 heading east. Then there was a young adult, maybe an adult, but a young male redtail sitting in a small tree next to the highway. Very plump, very small. And then later in the afternoon we went for a hike along further upstream, quite a ways, about a mile or so, mile and a half upstream from where we live, along Fall Creek. And there's a beautiful, beautiful canyon type of cliff structure there, a couple 100 feet up and over the river, and it's a meandering kind of canyon valley, and with a steep escarpment. And so on the way we did a loop with a friend down to the river, ran along the river, for about a half mile further on, and then came back up to the highlands. And as we came up to the highlands, we were working our way back, there was a field of millet, or just sort of weeds, and above it, circling low and skipping around over the top of it, was a beautiful, beautiful adult female harrier doing her flitting flight. And she was circling over the field, and you could see her white rump and her buff color. She was quite beautiful. So that was kind of exciting. And then we came onto campus to look for our hawks, and didn't find them. We spent a few minutes looking. Yesterday? Oh yes, you're right. BOGette did find. We thought it was maybe a peregrine, but we think it was BR on the very top of the east side of Bradfield. Yeah. By the time we got our cameras and stuff out, then she had toodalooed off, and we were frozen by that point anyway, because we'd been out walking for an hour and a half or 2 hours. So, anywho, so we're back here today, and we found Ezra on the athletic pole, third athletic pole, silver pole, and then we found BOGette found Ezra and BR in a new kissing tree in front of 80 White, and that was about 20 minutes ago. And now we have we were watching a little bit of BR. BR and Ezra flew off from their kissing tree and headed kind of northeast back over Space Sciences building and over toward the Bailey Clark Savage Hall area. And we haven't found Ezra, but we did find BR sitting on top of her the chimney at Space Sciences, and which is easy spot according to BOGette. And about 5 minutes ago we found this guy. He raided the cafeteria and came up with a big piece of toast here, and so we've been watching him munch, or you've been watching him munch, while I've been keeping an eye on BR. Okay, so enough of Mr. Toast Muncher.